This is the course on project management, the lecture on project planning. This lecture was organized by Professor Farrokh Alemi. A project has 5 phases: initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and closing. In the project planning phase, the plans for the project are detailed. The activities that need to be carried out are listed, and a schedule developed, budgets drafted, and people assigned to do various tasks. An important component of planning is communication. The communication plan lists who will be informed of the progress of the project and at what frequency. Given that these days most employees have access to media, it's important to think through the communication medium as well. The communication plan should include at least 2 groups of people: the various sponsors of the project and the frontline people affected by the project. At designated intervals, an executive summary should be emailed to project sponsors. Do not wait till a problem occurs. Maintain frequent reporting to project sponsors so that the progress of the project unfolds for the sponsors as it does for the project manager. The same goes for frontline employees. Periodic communication of progress helps people anticipate the coming project. These periodic communications keep the organization focused on the project. A plan should always indicate the frequency of communication and medium of communication for various groups involved in the project. A project manager should think of himself as a director of a movie. He should regularly prepare and distribute media about the project. You never thought that you went to school to study management and you will end up preparing short video clips and presentations. But this is exactly what savvy modern project managers have to do. They need to use media to reach a large number of employees and manage their expectation. Planning also involves deciding for contingency of how the project scope might change. A process should be designed to communicate the need for change, the scope of the change, the implication of the change for budget and finish time, and the decision-making process will deliberate whether to go ahead with the change. Changes in scope are almost always necessary for large projects because no one, even the best project manager, can anticipate all contingencies. Sooner or later something surprising comes up that has been overlooked. We go to build the hospital extension and we find that the land includes buried ammunition from World War II. We go to create an electronic health record and find out that our hospital is merging with another with an incompatible record system. In large projects, scope changes are inevitable and should not be resisted. These changes indicate the desire to make the project more central to the mission of the organization. Instead of resisting these corrections, project managers should have a process in place to manage them efficiently and without rework or work stoppage. A formal approval of plans is needed before the project execution starts. Again, it's not enough to keep plans on paper. It's important to make people live and imagine the changes. Detailing various groups is part of getting the final approval. Role-playing of the new procedures might be a good way of making everyone understand the pending changes. In the planning phase, surprising things come up. What seemed like a well-functioning organization may in close scrutiny look quite different. The expansion of electronic health record assumed that there is a functional system in place. In close scrutiny, one might find the reality very different. Labs are available on the computer, but in reality, everyone calls in their labs by phone and puts it on a piece of paper. A gap analysis helps sort out the validity of assumptions of sponsors of the project against the reality of frontline clinicians working and taking care of patients. In large projects, a project manager has to also prepare requests for proposals and plan a system for vendor selection. Finally comes 3 activities that are typically done using software programs. These are breaking down the project into discrete and related tasks, estimating the resources and time each task takes, and creating a schedule for the various tasks that include assignment of tasks to specific people. We will return to these 3 tasks in other lectures. There is a formal end to planning. All team members are gathered and alerted to the start of the execution of the project. The communication plan is used to alert the sponsors and the larger number of employees that might be affected by the project. The take-home lesson is simple. Successful project managers go beyond paper and use media effectively in project planning. A project plan includes a communication plan, a scope management plan, and a schedule, all of which should be communicated to various groups using different technologies and, of course, different mediums.